Mr. President, please.
Thank you. Good, what is the time now? Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being with us at this day before the draw of FIFA's World Cup Brazil 2014. It was the last meeting of the Executive Committee this year, and we were very pleased to listen to different reports and specifically on what is happening here in Brazil. And we are looking forward to a very successful World Cup next year. Some details on matters marked by the World Cup will be given by the Secretary General. Otherwise, we have had a meeting together after the World Cup Organizing Committee. I am speaking about the sport politic matters that we have had on the agenda today. And in this connection, I would like to say that we were dealing with the case, or the so-called case of Qatar 2022. I have had the opportunity, and this has been communicated to you as well in FIFA's press releases, to meet on the 20th of November with the president of the International Trade Union Confederation, ITUC, Michael Sommer, in Zurich, together with the president of the German Football Association and the member of the FIFA Executive Committee, Theo Zwanziger. And in this meeting, we have agreed that what we shall do now in future concerning this matter. You know that I have been in Qatar and I have spoken with the Prime Minister, I have spoken with the Emir, I have spoken with the members of the Labour and Interior Ministry. I have received documents, what they are doing now and what they will do in future. It is a big document called the Workers' Welfare in Qatar. And now, where are we? We are there that we have received a lot of letters from different organizations, also from FIFA, some of FIFA's member associations. And we came together with this Mr. Sommer of the ITUC. We came to the following conclusion. We shall now go to the attribution of the responsibilities of the different parties involved. We in FIFA, we have part of this responsibility. We want to establish which are exactly our responsibilities, but there are others, they must take responsibilities, and this is the state of Qatar. These are all the companies operating in Qatar. These are also the ILO, the International Labour Organization, and all the others, NGOs, they are running around, or political entities like the European Union, bringing a lot of criticism inside that. We have to calm down. This was the words of Mr. Sommer. We calm down now. We identify all these responsibilities, and then we go further. We go further, and you will have realized that in the meantime in Qatar, they have started to work very hard on these items. And so we will, the end of this year, beginning next year, we will have some meetings, some consultations. FIFA will answer all letters we will receive. We will speak with these organizations and give them our information. And then we come together and then we will have an inventory where we shall go. And I'm sure at the end of the day, the football will be the winner, because we can show then to the world that it's possible to create good working conditions. If there is a will, there is a way. And we have the will to go on. I have been mandated by the FIFA Executive Committee to go again, and I will go my way, and I will find these solutions. Then we have had in sports politics, we have had very, very good information, because the two associations which are on the island of Cyprus, one recognized by FIFA, the other one not. It means one is the Cyprus Football Association, which is Greek obedience, and we have the other one, which is the Turkish one. Now both have now ratified the Memorandum of Understanding, and in the near future we can see that football will be played between these two political entities on the field of play. And this is not an intervention of FIFA in politics, this is to help to solve problems, as we try to do ongoing with Palestine and Israel, and as we try to do at the last minute with Kosovo and Serbia. But this meeting, Kosovo and Serbia, has been postponed to the 10th of January next year. So this is the political information that I had to give you. And now I think... Yes, yes, sure. And we have decided also in the Executive Committee that we will have a legacy trust for the World Cup in favor of the football in Brazil. And we have taken the decision to make this, to have this trust already constituted now, and not at the end of the competition. But for the time being, we are putting in $20 million, and we hope everybody is working well. At the end, there will be, as in South Africa, there will be 100 million or even more in this trust. That's the political decisions. Now we have some technical decisions.
Yes. Yeah, as you know, the detailed press release about everything what was discussed at the Exco you will receive very shortly. And I would pass the floor to Jerome for a few remarks on finances.
It's about the prize money, and I've read, it seems that there was a bit of confusion, not being clear on what are the amounts, because it was approved this morning by the FIFA Executive Committee and the Finance Committee yesterday morning. So as you see, what was the prize money distribution in 2010 for the FIFA World Cup? There were 32 million given to the teams as for the preparation, 1 million per team, 348 million the prize money, and 40 million which are part of this club's prize money, meaning money which is given to the clubs who release the players for the World Cup. It is, in 2010, more than 65% of these 40 million went to European clubs, because they are the ones releasing most of the players who are part of the World Cup. For the 2014 FIFA World Cup, it was decided to increase to 1.5 million per team the preparation contribution, up to 48 million. That we are moving to 358 million for the prize money, and you will see later the breakdown. Then we have, for the clubs, an increase of 30 million, so we move from 40 to 70 million for the club prize money. And also we have a new program, which is the Club Protection Program, which is this insurance for the players, not only during the World Cup, but this insurance covers the international match calendar and all competition taking place in the international match calendar, meaning all competitions even organized by other confederations and not by FIFA. So altogether, it is 576 million. Just to give you an idea, 576 million mean that it's 30% of the total cost of the World Cup 2014. 1/3 of the cost of the World Cup 2014 is represented by these FIFA World Cup participant contributions. The breakdown for the world champion, as you can see, is 35 million. For the runner-up, 25. The third place, 22. The fourth place, 20 million. From the 5th to the 8th place, 14 million. From the 9th to the 16th place, 9 million. From the 17th to the 32nd place, 8 million. Again, preparation 1.5, club prize money 70, CPP, as we said, 100 million to reach a amount of 576 million US dollar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jerome. This in short a few remarks regarding the Executive Committee. And now I would start with the Q&As. As always, tell us who you are and who you're working for. One question each, because it's a time you take away from your colleagues if you start to ask a couple of questions at the same time. I think we start over there. Please, yes.
Bruno Guedes
from FE Agency. I'd like to ask President Blatter to please tell us a little bit more about the legacy fund for the Brazilian football. What does it entail? To who will it be delivered? If it will go through CBF and then to the clubs? And how, if in any way it will reach the clubs? I'd like you to please tell us a little bit more about this plan.
I will answer the question. The Legacy Trust is under the same basis that the one we have in South Africa. We have because we still have a Legacy Trust found in South Africa. The idea is that instead of doing it after the World Cup, we'll open it immediately before the World Cup. And instead of waiting for the final result of the money we are making from the World Cup and what will be left behind us in the country, we immediately put 20 million in this Legacy Trust. It is in fact not a legacy trust because for the time being we are working with the Brazilian authorities on the correct vehicle to use. Is it a foundation? Is it a trust? That will be seen. The members of this entity will be CBF and FIFA. It will be managed as all our operations now by a financial platform, meaning KPMG or Ernst & Young. It will have to work on projects to develop football, grassroots football, youth programs, linked also to education and health. So again, it is all linked to football, but can go to education and health. The programs will be discussed from now, and we hope that in January, at the next board meeting, we can give you more detail on the first program, which will be in these 20 million. It doesn't mean that 20 million have to be spent immediately, and again, as the FIFA president said, we cannot tell you exactly how much money will be in the legacy or in the foundation by the end of the World Cup, but again, we are starting from now, and we are not waiting for the World Cup to be over to start.
Thank you, Jerome. Charlie, please, over here.
Charlie Sale, Daily Mail. Could you please clear up the confusion over who made the decision over the draw for the European team moving out of Pot 4? The President earlier this week said it followed a meeting of the Confederation Presidents, who's quite adamant about that, whilst the UEFA President Michel Platini said yesterday that it was a FIFA idea and that he was not the only Frenchman on FIFA.
Okay, I will answer this question. Firstly, there were few ideas, and the few ideas were the ones you had in your newspapers. I mean, you talked about the idea could have been to pick up the lowest ranked European teams and to put it directly in the pot 2. Another idea could be to allocate this European team to any group automatically. And the third idea was to have a draw from the pot 4 to draw the 9th European team and to put this 9th European team in the pot 2. The meeting of the organizing committee as the meeting with the Confederation presidents decided that it was, because it's a draw, it should be a draw for all. And the draw should apply also for the designation of the team, European team, who was to join the other 7 teams in the pot 2. So that's why there will be a draw, and the draw tomorrow will start by drawing this 9th ball from the pot 4 and to add it into the pot 2, and then we'll start to empty the pot 1. So the first ball drawn will be this European team to join the pot 2, the 5 Africans and the 2 South Americans.
Over there, yes, please, you. Just a microphone for the gentleman there, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Blatter. Brian Swanson from Sky Sports News. How concerned should football fans be regarding the safety and security here in Brazil, mainly in the big cities? And as someone who travels around a lot with a police escort, do you accept that you can receive a false sense of security yourself? How can you know what it's like out on the streets for the real fan?
Thank you for this question. You know, the security is the important, not the most important part, but an important part in the organization of any event. It is more important when you organize sports event, because in sport events you have always emotions and passion. And therefore, the security organization here in Brazil, which is organized on the central government level, on the state level, and on the level of the cities, has taken into account all the problems they have been facing during the Confederations Cup. It may appear that there are a lot of people involved in the security. We have had a long discussion also in the FIFA's organizing committee on this matter by saying that the security of a group can only be ensured or implemented if all members of this group have the adequate discipline to behave like the authorities of security are telling us. This may give the impression that we are somehow canalized when it comes to the teams then, the delegation, the official delegations, when it comes to the governance of FIFA. But concerning the fans and concerning the rest of the population here, this is a question of trust and confidence, and we trust this big country, this continent of 200 million people. They will have a system that will permit everybody, also to the representative of the media, to follow this World Cup in good order. But I repeat, always there's a principle in the security. If you are in a group, it depends on each individual how security can be implemented.
Next question, yes, you. Please. Yeah. Well, in the back, and then, yeah, sorry, yeah, please.
Marco Bello, Rede Transamérica.
Marco Bello, Transamerica radio station. My question is to Mr. Blatter, FIFA president. We know that FIFA does not build stadia, but there was an accident in a stadium that will be the opening match of a World Cup, which obviously is related to FIFA. So I'd like to know, what can FIFA do apart from supporting? What can FIFA in practice do for the stadium, in fact, to be ready for the opening match? And is there a plan B in case it is not ready?
This was a question that was debated already the day before here. And we have now information, we have received information that it should be that the stadium will be ready in mid-April, 14th, 15th of April next year. We believe that it's again a question of trust that it will be done. For the time being, there is no plan B, and what FIFA can do, FIFA can now send, I would say we would send or ask God, Allah, whoever, that no more accident shall arise in the connection with the World Cup. This is the only thing we can do, and hope that the reconstruction or the rebuilding can start as soon as possible, because for the time being, they're still under investigation.
Yes, and now you. Yes.
Pergunta para o Blatter.
My question is to Mr. Blatter. My name is Julio Andrade, and I'm from the newspaper in Pernambuco. I'd like to know if the President has already heard of a Bom Senso movement, which is a movement of all Brazilian football players that request, amongst other things, to change the match schedule. They complain that there are too many matches in Brazil. I'd like to know President Blatter's opinion on the Bom Senso, the good sense, common sense movement.
We have received, in fact, a documentation of the players, professional players union here concerning the kickoff times, but it has also been explained, these kickoff times, they have been chosen not only by the calendar, but as, who was explaining that, Dr. Dog or somebody? Yesterday.
But here, the bon sens, it's about the number of games they are playing here in the calendar. There are too many games between the leagues and the different competitions.
Oh, yes, yes, okay. I misunderstand what you have said. You know, the proliferation of the football matches and leagues, and specifically in a country where the football is so important and the football is so popular, has definitely an influence also on the quality. But my feeling is that in a continent, it's a continent of 200 million people. You are speaking now specifically on Pernambuco, but there are in Sao Paulo, and it is a matter of the organization of football in the country. And naturally, when it comes to the World Cup, or before the World Cup, everybody wants to play. But the matter is to have a study to know what is feasible and not, and what is recommendable, and what finally serves the football and serves the public. If there is too much football on the field, or too much football on television, it will not serve football.
Yes, here. And then we go, yeah, please. Yes. The mic.
Hi, Ben Rumsby from the Daily Telegraph. Can you just clarify which of the World Cup stadia you don't think will be ready until mid-April? And also, Michel Platini has come out with a proposal to get rid of yellow cards and replace them with sin binning for 10 or 15 minutes. I'm wondering what FIFA make of Platini's comments.
The only stadia that we expect to not be ready before 14th of April is naturally the stadia in Sao Paulo. Concerning the proposal of Michel Platini, ask him to elaborate that. I cannot see why we should change something in the match control of the World Cup when we have already established all the regulations.
Thank you. Now, question, yes, there, please.
Ilo Santiago from the newspaper Diário do Nordeste. My question is to Valcke. but if Mr. Blatter would like to answer also, please do so. Regarding the matches at 1 p.m., I live in Fortaleza, and usually in Fortaleza you don't play at 1 p.m. Mr. Valcke mentioned that medical reports were prepared by the athletes, but I'd like to touch another aspect. The spectators which will be under a lot of sun and a lot of heat in a part of a stadium, these reports, do they also take into account the spectators?
I would say that it's less difficult for the public who have all the time to escape the sun and to drink as much as they want than for the players who are running kilometers on the pitch. You will not take into account all, what we are taking into account when we are looking at when you can play is definitely the players because they are the ones who are really concerned. And I just want also to be clear there, I've read that a team, don't remember which team, will ask FIFA if the game can be stopped for the players to drink during the game. It is already part of our competition regulation, so that will happen if the referee or if the medical doctor who is in the stadium has the feeling that it's important for the health of the player to stop the game regularly and just for them to have the right to drink, it will happen. So when you are talking to me about the fans, sincerely speaking, no, the medical study was on the players and the conditions for the players to play in these different stadiums at this different time of the day, not the fans.
I can add nothing to that. I will add nothing to that. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Owen Gibson from The Guardian. Mr. Blatter, on the subject of Qatar 2022, what practically would you like to see done? Would you personally like to see an end to the kafala system or an end to the exit visa system? And will you set an ultimatum or a time frame for when some of these changes need to be in place?
I have said that there will be an analysis of the responsibility of the different parties involved. In the meantime, the State of Qatar authorities, they have already started changing the law, building houses for the workers, and the different other measures they have taken. For us now, it is to make sure that the pleas and demands of other companies or unions shall be implemented. And what is very important, we have to take into responsibility the operating companies in Qatar. They are also responsible for their workers. You cannot just work there and say we are not responsible for the workers. But first steps have already been taken. Now let us work together with especially with this trade union confederation and the ILO to go forward and to make the adequate steps to help finally Qatar to organize this competition and to stop the problems they are facing now in this country for 400,000 people where they have over 1 million workers.
One question here, please, and then another two, and then we're done. Yes, please. Yeah. No, this gentleman in the first row. Yes. Okay.
Gracias. Antonio Rosique.
Thank you very much, Antonio from Azteca, Mexico. Mr. Blatter, Mexico has usually been a spectator in the World Cup, and in this case, Mexico came into the World Cup, qualified very lately. What positive aspects has Mexico qualifying been good in terms of the number of spectators that come because of a number of the size of spectators, the number of spectators, and the size of the TV market? What do you think about this?
Definitivamente la calificación must.
Definitely the qualifying at a very later moment of the Mexico national team, the first benefit is for Mexican football, for the Mexican national team, which finally was able to attend in the final draw tomorrow through different doors which were open in the last minute. Naturally, Mexico is a great country, a great football country, and Mexico is going to be in the World Cup, and this means that the interest of the whole world for Mexican football, but also for the Mexican people in order to be able to watch their TVs. This is a combination of the sporting aspect as well as the marketing aspect.
Thank you. One question over there. Yes, please. Yes, yes. Yeah. Okay.
Gabriele Marcotti, ESPN. This question is for Mr. Valcke. Could you clarify and explain a little more about the medical doctor who will be deciding when, if and when cooling breaks need to be taken? And will it be an independent doctor, independent of the two teams? And is this a continuation of the wet bulb or wet glow bulb temperature test that was in place before?
In a game, in a way, you have three authorities. You have the general match coordinator, who is in the stadium, responsible for the organization of the game in the stadium. You have a medical representative, a doctor, just to ensure that all is okay, and also responsible for all the medical problem in the stadium. And then you have the referee. These three persons are the ones who are always discussing before a game and making decisions before the game in order to ensure the safety not only of the players but the whole stadium. It is part of their duty to determine at the time before the game if the conditions means that there is a need to give a break to the game and decide how many breaks during the game. So it's two breaks, 3 breaks of 1 minute during the game for the players just to have a chance to drink water and to have no problem of hydration. So that's how it will work and how it has happened already. Again, it's not the first time that we are playing in such conditions. The final of the 2008 Olympic football tournament played in Beijing was played, if I'm correct, at 12, and it was a high temperature. We have been playing football as you are playing sport at different time of the day, and during the Olympics you have sports at 1 o'clock in the afternoon where also it's very hot. So again, it is part of the common sense and common practice that whenever there is a need for someone to get some water to avoid a problem, the game will be stopped as any other sport. They can stop their competition. We have included this in the competition regulation, so it's open for them to make the decision.
Last question over there, please. Yes.
Cosme from the R7 portal. Mr. Blatter, please. Isn't it unfair to push to God and Allah and the fans for no more accidents to take place, for no more to die during the construction of a stadium? I'd like to know your balance. 4 people have already died while building stadia in Brazil. So I'd like you to also be very effective. Will FIFA create an entity to work with the trade unions of the workers during the 2022 World Cup, or will it continue wishing for God and Allah to help?
You just said it. We are working with the trade union when it comes now to the matter of the 222, and the protection of the workers is one of the items that we will put on the head of our agenda. If you have not got my information concerning that we need also the help of God, then I'm sorry that I was misunderstood. Because this is, even if there's only one worker would be injured, not even that, it's one too much for any construction of a football stadium. This is our attitude and our approach to this problem. And we will have it the same in the future. Yes. And now I will give you some other information which may be interesting for you. And this is the Executive Committee has decided today to appoint different associations to organize competitions. For 2016, the Under-17 Women's World Cup, Under-17 Women's World Cup will be played in Jordan, in the Kingdom of Jordan. It's another landmark for FIFA to organize in an Arabic country a women's competition after having been 4 years ago in Azerbaijan. Then South Africa has been appointed to organize the Under-20 Women's World Cup in 2016. And for 2017, we have appointed the Korea Republic as host of the Under-20 World Cup. I agree. Under-20 World Cup for 2017. But now this is another historical decision we have taken. India, the subcontinent India with 1.2 billion people, have been appointed to organize FIFA Under-17 World Cup with 24 teams in 2017. This is really a decision, a sports political and geopolitical decision. Furthermore, Mexico City will organize the FIFA Congress in 2016 and Kuala Lumpur the FIFA Congress in 2017. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for your attention, thank you for your understanding, and see you tomorrow at the draw, and we hope that we will have a calendar of events next year with 64 matches, the best that football can give. Thank you so much.